in today's video, we got a super nice 05 regular cab short bed GMC Sierra, and this is my buddy Jake's truck. Me and him both love these trucks a lot. Like regular cab short beds, you can't beat them. He's the one that actually had the Camaro that we converted into like a ZL1. He bought a parts car, and I done a manual swap, and we pro charged it, and that car was sick. And he pretty much lets me do what I want with his vehicles because he knows me and him have pretty good similarities. Like, we love the same thing. So on this truck, I figured we'd keep it simple. We're going to just do like a nice daily driver type of setup. Set of speed engineering headers, S&B intake, truck Norris cam. I mean, we're not going crazy with this one. We just want it to be a nice, reliable, just fun truck. Just want that nice sound, and I think we're going to achieve that in this video. So let's jump into it, and we're going to get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing lifted up. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking the stock exhaust off. I think it's got like a Flowmaster on the back, which you just heard. And we're gonna go ahead and get the stock exhaust off, get the stock manifolds off, make sure, I'm sure we're gonna have some broken exhaust manifold bolts. That's just a given. I just looked, and this thing still has all the bolts in it, which is kind of cool because I don't see very often where the back one or the front bolt are there. Typically the back bolts are always broke off already. So I got a feeling that as soon as I put a socket on them, they're probably gonna break, but hey, it'd be great if they don't. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling valve covers, get the water pump off, go ahead and start getting the timing cover off. I think the oil pan has a small leak, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a new gasket, so oil pan's gonna be coming off. But we got a lot to do today, so let's get this thing started. I'm hoping for the dyno tomorrow, so got a lot of work to do. So truck Norris cam is a great all-around daily driver cam. They actually make two versions of this. They make a no springs required cam, which is what we were running here. And they have one that's got a little more lift. But from experience, the other one that requires the springs, it's a little more lift, but it really only makes a little more power up top. And honestly, the no springs required one is really the way to go. It gives you the chop you want, and just all around a good daily driver. Not to say the other one, it still drives great with the stock converter and all that, but honestly, this is the way to go. Speed engineering headers. I've been buying speed engineering headers for a very long time, and that's pretty much the only header I put on trucks. They're great quality. They just work. I got the same set of headers on my SS Silverado that I put on probably 8 years ago, and they still look great. They still function. These gaskets are absolute trash. I would use a set of 200,000 mile original gaskets if I ever use these junk. So these are out of here. They do provide you with these if you go in a drop-down menu. So I did opt to get new gaskets. I think they're like $20, get bolts. So those are the way to go. Got it with the Y pipe. You can actually order an X pipe for this setup, which is what's on my blue truck. But since we're running the nice Corsa exhaust, it comes with the flange to adapt to the stock exhaust. So we just opted to use the factory like style Y pipe. This is honestly, the Corsa is my favorite exhaust ever. You know, I used to always think, man, it's expensive exhaust, but after having it on multiple vehicles now and just pretty much using it on everything, gotta say, I absolutely love it. I had it on the Vet at one time, but I got a way bigger motor, bigger exhaust, and like on my Vet, the exhaust tips are fake. Like they're just for looks because Vets just need quad tips out the back. But you can see they're pretty much like Bluetooth exhaust. My exhaust actually cuts off right down there. But, and we got an S&B intake, probably one of my favorite intakes, probably one of the best intakes you could put on these trucks. You know, most people put hot air intakes on, like cheap, like even Speed Engineering sells an intake kit, but this is by far the best you can buy. All right, so I figured it's an update time. I've got a lot of stuff done. One thing I did run into is with the Speed Engineering headers, you know, typically they fit pretty well. But with having the Corsa exhaust, you know, mixing manufacturers, sometimes things don't 100% line up. So I couldn't get this to line up. This has a piece that slides on, kind of gives you a little bit of adjustability. Well, it was way too long to fit with the Corsa. So I ended up having to cut the flange, and I got it tacked together right now. So I'm getting ready to just go ahead and TIG weld it up. I got exactly where I need it, and that should be good. Got the oil pan back on, timing covers on. I mean, another problem I found out. Just after rotating the motor over, after I got the rocker arms and stuff on, I got to look, and this is a 553 lift. So this is actually the one that requires springs. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put some springs on it tomorrow. Looking at it, I could tell it looked like it was getting ready to have coil bind. It was like really close to like just flattening out the valve spring. So we'll get that done tomorrow, and that'll be it for the top. But exhaust is almost done, and I'm gonna get this thing welded up. All right, so I got everything fitted up really good. I haven't TIG welded in a while. Not the best, but hey, it's together. Full Corsa exhaust hooked to the Speed Engineerings. I'm happy it didn't turn into be too much. So I think now it's time to put the exhaust tip on. Get our clamp for it. It's always the best part. All right, so I'm down here at my boy Dave's shop, Shift Fast Performance. This is one of my sponsors for the drift car, so he does all my tuning. We just got done dialing in to like part throttle tune and everything. So now it's on the dyno. We're gonna get some wide open throttle pulls and see what she makes. We're not really going for power at this point. We're just trying to get good drivability and just a good daily driver. So we're gonna see what we can do with it. It's gonna be just an 87 octane tune, nothing like crazy. We're just, like I said, trying to keep it reliable, safe. So Let's go in here and see what she puts down. All right, so I'm driving this thing. This is one thing I really love about the Corsa exhaust. Like, there's absolutely no noise in here whatsoever. Like, I hear more of the S&B air intake than I do the exhaust, which, like, no drone whatsoever. I guess it's kind of odd. It's almost like having your ears plugged. I feel like I'm riding in the mountains and my ears need to pop because you're just expecting a rumble and it just doesn't have it. It just has really good sound. Like right now, I'm just cruising 55 and sweet. I'll get down on it and just, you still hear it when you get down on it, but it's just driving, like daily driving is just absolutely amazing. Like I hear more of the intake than I hear anything. So we'll give a little first gear pull just to kind of show you. All right, so that's it. The truck made 298 horsepower. We'll just go ahead and call it 300. It made 311 foot-pounds of torque, but just a solid truck now. It's gonna be a fun daily driver. You know, like I said, we were on an 87 octane tune, so we wasn't going for power. We were just going for a nice sounding cam and a good drivability. So, all right, so that's it. I guess we'll see you in the next one.